Friday. I put that grease port in and greased this motor. Can't believe it's still running. Set the fan on it to keep it cool, and that bad boy's still kicking. Wow. It might have lasted another weekend. You had the entire pump. Keep in mind, when they ordered this, they ordered just the motor because the motor was what was making a noise. Fine, but they sent me just the motor, no seal to help seal it, and we're already having a problem with the seal. And this is the original pump building. This stuff's maybe 15 years old, I'm guessing, but I don't know if I can get the impeller off either. So I've got to shut the whole building down and drain something. If I can get the impeller off, great. If I can't, I'm in trouble, and I got to put it all back together and do all that work to just come back with the entire pump. So always keep that in mind when you're doing pumps, because impellers can be hard to come off, and especially something like this. If it was an easy isolate here, pull it out, put it back in, it wouldn't be that as big of a deal. But we've already got some leaks on the seals as it is. I don't know why they would send, it's a taco pump, I don't know why they would send a motor and no seal, but nonetheless, I've got the entire pump assembly. Bleeding the air is going to be the next fun part, but other than that, this is it, guys. I'm not setting a tripod up to change this out, so this is magically going to turn to a new pump. And there's the new pump. So still got to drop my electric back in, get everything wired. We tightened evenly everywhere, so it should be good. Just a little bit of silicone grease on that gasket. My fear was I wasn't going to get all 4 stories of air bled just with the air separator. I was running 14 amps prior, so I'm running 8 amps right now, and that's because I've still got air in the lines. Lower amp draw tells me I'm not doing as much work, not moving as much water. And I shut this one back off, but we can kick it on too. We just want to kind of watch everything. I haven't turned any of the water source heat pumps on yet. I haven't turned the boiler on yet. I'm going to get as much air out and all the strainers clean before I do anything else, and then we'll start turning some other things on. So we have been unsuccessful. Still drawing about 8.7 amps. Still air in the system, so I'm, as usual, just winging it, trying to get things to work. Let's have him bleed and see if we can get a change here, and then we'll see what happens. Time for plan B. We got the main pump off. We're gonna turn my circulating pump off too, and the boiler again. We're gonna isolate everything, the boiler, and every water source heat pump. Then we're going to bleed from the top. We're going to start at the 4th floor. Probably going to let it bleed for a while, let all the air get up there and out. And then we'll, each floor down, we'll open the ball valves on the water source heat pumps, bleed any air out of each one of those, and then close the ball valves once again, all the way down for every heat pump. Then we're going to come down here and turn on our main pump, and hopefully we've got enough air out that I can get flow up top, and then we should be able to go open each water source heat pump once again and put them back into operation. We're still going to tell a lot by my amp draw, but that is my game plan at this point, and we're going to see how it goes. So this is my hose from the 4th floor. I'm going to have him crank it on in a minute. We're going to try to get it in this bucket and stationary. And when we see bubbles stop, then we've got the air out, at least of the main lines. Everything else is isolated now, and all my pumps are off. So here comes all my air. All the air I've been fighting. Started with getting that air out up top. You could see it. So coming out of that 4th floor now is just kind of a trickle of water. We've got the valve open still. We're gonna kick the main pump on and see what happens. Look at that. That's what we're looking for right there. Now it's dropping back down. And we're gonna have to turn it off, and then we're gonna close that valve now. So hopefully that got any air out. That was a much better amp after all. That's the highest amp draw I've seen so far. So this is the only other plug up high inside my cooling tower. And we got air. So we're gonna pull it and bleed till we get water. So we stopped getting water and air. I'm guessing I didn't adjust my, I don't have a bypass on that water feed, so I'm guessing I just don't have enough water pressure to push everything up, but I should be at a certain level now. Still, I can feel air coming out now. So we got everything turned back off. I increased, I don't have a bypass on my main water feed, so I increased the pressure as much as I could. I just cranked the feed valve all the way in. I bled for a little bit on the 4th floor, that's right below me, and I can feel air here. I don't think I was getting, so basically the 4th floor stopped draining by the time we got back from lunch. It was just trickling, and then I never really got like a full column of water up here. It started sputtering on me. So I'm hoping with the increased pressures I can push some more water up and try to get all this flowing. This is my inlet side, so it's not my high point, but I'm hoping my pump can overcome, once this has a full column of water, a little bit of air that might be in here, and then the return's gonna drop straight back down to the air separator and hopefully get all the air out, because everything else is isolated still. Now she's gurgling that air a little bit. I got a pretty good stream of water. And I think I'm gonna let it run for a minute, make sure any air comes out, and then let's try to get that guy back in. I don't really hear any more air. It's hard to tell. But we'll just go finger tight with that for now. We'll tighten it back up. Let's turn our pumps on and cross our damn fingers. We're not quite out of the woods yet. We got 13 amps. We're looking good, and you can hear all that air coming out of that air, the damn air separator. Well, we finally got it up over that cooling tower, and it's dropping back down on the return. So we're just gonna leave it alone, let it run, let all that air come out. Just kind of watch it for a little bit. Then we'll think about turning some other things on. Oh, so we are on to something now. 13.1 amps. That air separator bled for probably 10 minutes. It's still bleeding. So it's gotten better, but it is still bleeding air. I've got 13 amps, so I'm good. I had to start with the main bar because they're going to open up soon. Luckily, they're still closed. Basically, we're going to bleed any air on the inlet of each water source, turn them back off. If we get any air, fine. We're going to continue to let this run, bleed all the floors that way, and then make sure I've got no air coming back out there. And then we'll start opening up one floor at a time. Basically, I'm gonna start with the main bar because it's got to be open and on. We'll get those open, make sure if I get any air coming back, the air separator should catch everything at this point. I think I just couldn't get over the hump of the last floor up to the roof. So once I pulled that plug, it's pulled the plug and raised that pressure, solved most of my problems. So I'm gonna let y'all go. I appreciate all y'all. Leave a trade better than you found it. See y'all next time.